Well, welcome back to the Business Spotlight series. My name is Tanner O'Brien. I'm a senior partner here at ActionCOACH in Central Texas, and today I am joined by a great friend of mine. We've had a chance to get to know one another over the last year or so. But Jawad, who is the founder and CEO of PixelOne, excited to have Jawad here on the Spotlight series. And today we're going to be talking about his challenges, his successes, about the process of building PixelOne, and all the kind of fun stuff there. So if this is your first time here on the channel, make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure that you get notified for whenever we drop new conversations like this one. So Jawad, thank you for being here. Welcome, and excited to jump into some conversation.
Thank you for having me, Tanner. Really
Excellent.
clear.
Well, let's just kick off a little bit of kind of background information. Tell us a little bit about what's your background. Tell us who you are. Tell us what Pixel One is, and let's just start there, and we'll kind of dive into the conversation as we unfold.
Sure. I think I'm a CS graduate, so I have been working in different roles in IT jobs across different regions around the globe. Uh, Lately, for last 12 years, I've been in US. I've been working with very privileged companies like PG&E, Expedia, and Expedia was my last one. And when I joined Expedia, I really thought this should be my last job, and I should really work towards something that is my own thing. So I started working on a side business along with my job. That's how basically Pixel One came into being, the idea of Pixel One. So that was back in 2017. So that was back in 2017. I started a sidekick as an e-commerce business. We started buying goods and started doing the search engine optimization, social media marketing. We started selling the things. And as we progressed, as the orders grew, there was there were challenges for as a small medium business, and since we never had the idea of running a business, so we learned. We were It was one of my partner I worked with, so we learned and we tried to translate those problems into a software solution. And as we kept building this solution, use case by use case, or different challenges, we started resolving it. Uh, this became a solution. And lately, we found that people are looking for such a solution that is a single window for e-commerce businesses, which integrates logistics, which integrates different platforms, which helps them manage their inventory from a single point. And that was the point, we need to really think about this solution as a software as a service. And that was basically the foundation of Pixel One, our personal business, converting into a product that was helping our business to, work efficiently, operate efficiently. And finally, we started building this in keeping in mind that we can help many of the other businesses who struggle with this whole process management. So that's the shortest I can go. I'm sure there are a lot of stories if we uh, just go bits and pieces, but we'll keep it for some time later.
I love that. I always like to ask the question. So for those that are listening, that might be the perfect client or customer for Pixel One. What would you say to them in terms of how would I know that I am the perfect client for Pixel One? What is that kind of ideal profile look like? That's probably not the best word to say it, but how do I know that I'm like a perfect fit to come in and work with y'all?
So the rule of thumb is if you are selling online and you are having challenges with managing different uh, technology points like managing your accounts, managing your supply chain, how to manage your inventory, and then the problem multiplies as soon as you are selling on multiple platforms. That's where the omni-channel word comes from. Like you are everywhere. Like you're selling on online, you're selling on third-party marketplaces like Amazon, eBay. You have your retail outlets. So to have a single window solution that operates omni-channel on that single window. So that's if you fall in that category. uh, I have given a very broad description, but uh, if you are within this spectrum, you can benefit from PixelOne.
Beautiful. So I want to take a step back and kind of talk about that journey, that transition for you. What was the biggest thing that you had to learn, or maybe even just the biggest obstacle or hurdle that was in your way when you transitioned from working for a company and kind of being in that environment to now I've got something of my own, I'm starting to create this. There's lots of different things. What's kind of the biggest thing that you've had to either learn or overcome in that transition?
I was not entrepreneur. I was wannabe entrepreneur, and the most challenging thing was asking people, "Hey, you're using my solution. Start paying it now." And that was one of the hardest thing because in my life, I think hardly I have ever asked anybody to give me money. So that that is an interesting challenge. So and then another challenge was, how do I part my ways from engineering to the business side, because nobody can really explain the solution to the beneficiary, like this is how this solution is going to help. So yeah, I think those are very quick, I could think of on top of my mind challenges, but I'm sure if I think deeper, I can find more challenges too. And that's yeah, so it has been exciting, but that was the journey I had to take, and uh, I have uh, taken with a leap of faith that I can do that. So yeah, I'm getting better at it every day.
I love that. That's such an important piece, and I think sometimes understated is the amount of just daily growth that tends to happen. There's always learning. There's always getting a little bit better.
Hmm.
I have yet to find anyone really, at least on the normal scale, that is good at like everything. It's I've got strengths here, I've got weaknesses here, I'm okay at some of this stuff, and I'm curious as you kind of look at your skills as a business owner. We'll kind of look at that as the overarching umbrella. What do you say? What would you say are some of your strong points that you're really good at, and then where are some of the areas that you're not as strong at, and you need to definitely or have brought in team members that are better in those particular areas, or have had to do a ton of learning to catch up on that. What would you say, kind of both ends of the spectrum? What are you really good at, and what are areas that you've had to either learn or delegate out?
I think um, developing the whole organizational structure itself has been a challenge. Uh, I have learned it by studying, by taking guidance from different mentors, different friends. How do you do that? Uh, uh, so, I mean, the strongest area, if I have to define in this whole journey, my strongest thing, it was my conviction that this solution, this product I have been building is really an awesome thing, and it can help millions of users and million of small and medium businesses, uh, you know, uh, grow better about their business. So that was the strongest point. And the other end where I can improve, and which I have improved, and there is still a room to improve, is how do I carry out the business? How do I build the structure of organization? Because I strongly believe I have worked around about 15 or so companies as a consultant, as a full-time employee. I have always felt I really want the philosophy at the top level, which usually fades away as it travels down to the hierarchy. I really want that happens when our company, when my business grows, and when my brand basically makes it to bigger names. It still has those values inculcated. So those are the things where I am working on, and I'm sure over time I will learn more. It's a daily learning and unlearn. You do the mistakes, you learn, and you try to fix them, and then you move on to the next one. It's just a constant learning.
Mm, I love that. So, by most measures of, I think what most people would say is success, you are a success. You've grown through a career. You've launched a product. You are sitting here today having these conversations with all of learnings. That is success in, I think, many people's minds. Definitely in mine. And I'm curious, as you look at kind of what things are either in your life or that you do on a regular basis that help you continue to achieve success. I kind of call them the keys to success. Everyone's kind of got their list of here's the 5 things that I do that lead to success. Whether that's I get 8 hours of sleep, or I wake up early and I do these types of things, or whatever it is. I'm curious, for you personally, is there anything that you do and you know consistently that if you continue to do certain pieces, it leads
I
to your ability to be successful?
I think there is no such thing like go out and exercise for 5 hour, 1 hour daily, or there is nothing like that. I think for me, so far, uh, uh, it has been my conviction that this solution is the need of every small and medium business. And I am continuously pushing myself to keep believing it and make it happen. And I talk to customers, I get their feedback, and I get the energy from their feedback. And that's the best thing that keeps me going. That yes, I am doing on something really uh, um the need of people, a need of the businesses that can help them grow. And I think there will be stories in future about uh, uh, um, uh, making it success with the customers. So, in short, if I have to say it in one sentence, I think it's I don't know the proper word, but uh, it's reaffirming my conviction every day that I am doing the right thing and it's gonna happen with the right time and as the time comes.
Love that. That is phenomenal. Well, Jawad, I want to be respectful of time. So there's a couple questions I wanted to kind of bring up. I was kind of thinking it through. I had some fun conversations with a business owner or two the last couple of weeks, and we were on this topic of advice, advice to take, advice not to take, things like that. So I'd love to know, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Uh, I think I have been given, right?
Yes.
Um, uh, I think I don't, I really don't recall, but what uh, I think the positive vibe I get from different people, especially the close circle, um, is hey, you believe it, you can do it, just keep doing and keep believing it and keep doing it, and you're gonna make it. And I think that's the most important fuel in my journey.
Hmm, I like that. And kind of on the other side, this was part of that conversation. I hadn't really thought about it this way before, so I'm going to ask it, see if anything comes to mind. But you know, along these journeys, we tend to get a lot of advice in different ways. Some are really good, big piece of advice. Some are not. But what is there any like piece of advice that you've received that just has not been good advice? Advice that if you were to either go back again, or maybe you noticed right away and said, this is not good. I'm not going to take this piece of advice. Was there anything like that along the way?
You know, I have a perspective on that. Um, you meet different people uh, with all the success. You always talk to them. You get the pieces of advice out of all the advices you get. What matters you the most? I don't remember the specific, but my pattern has been listen to everybody, but you know the best about yourself and your problems. And you have to find out what piece of advice really fits into your scenario. My There is no single advice that fits into, hey, if you're gonna do this, it's gonna happen, or it's gonna make you a success. So you have to filter it out um, uh, based on your problems you are facing and apply it according to your situation. uh, a specific advice, I don't remember the words right now. I can't recall it, but yeah, my general rule of thumb is listen to everybody, hear them out, take advices, but apply and filter them based on your need and your situation.
I love that. That was, I think, ultimately where some of this conversation has gone in the past is, just because it's advice, or maybe it's really good advice, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's really good advice for you right now. And
That's
being able
right.
to kind of understand that, which is kind of cool. So with the benefit of hindsight and looking backwards, if you were to go back and give your 18-year-old self, go back in time, say, here's 18-year-old Jawad, what advice or tips or suggestions would you give yourself if you were to go back in time with this perspective of hindsight?
I think if I go back and advise myself, I would say just keep enjoying, but on the lighter side. But I think say the best thing, if you want to succeed and so let me put it this way. Um, I was very social. I was very connected with all different people, but thought, I never learned how to, be an impactful personality. So if I go back in my days, I would say during universities, during colleges, if you are there, use all those resources that can help you, build your personality, that can help you be impactful among your peers. Um, uh, you get Those are the times where you can um, learn the most, you have the most energy, and that energy might not last over next 10 years. So that's the best time to use your energy to the right direction. But at the same time, it's important you have fun too, because without that, you're gonna get bored.
Oh, that is beautiful advice. The concept of having fun, enjoying the ride, that sort of thing is, I think it's really important. It seems cliche because everyone says it, but that it's that way for a reason, right?
Hmm.
It's a really important thing to continue to say. So no, I appreciate that. Well, Jawad, I've only got one question I love to end like every interview on, but before we get to that,
Hmm.
um, for those that are listening that want to learn more about PixelOne, maybe they're in the market for the software that solution that you've got. They want to connect with you, hear more about your story, anything like that. How can others get in contact? How can they find out more information or follow or anything like that?
So we have pixelone.app as website, so you can get all the information there. We have the phone number there. If somebody wants to reach out to me directly, we can share the email as well, which is jawad at the rate of pixelone.app. We have LinkedIn page, Facebook page, we have YouTube page, YouTube channel as well, where we basically making it a knowledge factory for our solution so that people can self-service them to do whatever they want to do within the solution. So yeah, these are all different channels, but um, if anybody wants to send me an email, feel free to send email on jawad@pixelone.app.
Beautiful. And I will be sure to put the website and email and such in the description of this video below so anyone can quickly access it and reach out. Highly encourage it. A big piece of why we do these conversations, it's yes, it's learning, it's hearing stories and things like that, and but it's also about connecting and communicating. So feel free to reach out, make some connections, reach out to Jawad on LinkedIn or anything like that. So thank you for that. Jawad, let's finish up here. What is most inspiring to you today?
Um, uh, I would say, I think, as you have seen Chat GPT, you might have heard about it. There is a lot of
Yes.
talk about it. Uh, that is something, it has a wow factor. You go, you try, and you just uh, are blown away. Like, how is it possible that AI is doing that kind of accuracy? Um, uh, so for me, I just want to build a solution that which is PixelOne, and I just want to make it as inspiring for the small and medium businesses. As soon as they use, they just have the same kind of wow factor. How it made their life easy, or how it helped them grow their businesses. So uh, I think I'm too too occupied with Pixel One mentally that my inspiration, my conviction, every thought, eat, what they call is eat, sleep, and breathe. That's what I do with the Pixel One nowadays.
Beautiful. No, I appreciate that. Well, Jawad, thank you so much for being here, for joining us for this conversation. Hoping that others reach out, connect, all of that kind of stuff. Really, really important as we continue to grow our community in business ownership and entrepreneurship. It can be a lonely road out there. So the more we connect, the better we all grow together. So appreciate you being here. Thank you, and excited to chat with you again soon.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you so much. Appreciate for inviting me and giving me the chance to explain and talk about my stories. Thank you.